This is Mr. Hanna. We're talking about lesson 2-2. You need to read pages 83 through 85. They talk about, they talk about the four properties of equalities. There's one for add, subtract, multiply, and divide. All of them say that if we do the same thing to both sides of an equation, we will still have a true equation. Think of a seesaw. If you've got two kids on one side and two kids on the other side, as long as I take a kid off of each side at the same time, it will still be balanced. If I have one kid on each side and it's balanced, and I add two kids that are the same size to each side at the same time, it will stay balanced. So we use this to solve equations. One thing I always did is to teach my kids this. It's called a call and response. I will ask, how do we solve equations? And then the class responds, we get the variable by itself. Then I say, how do we get the variable by itself? We work backwards using opposite operations. For example, if I have 113 equals g minus 25, we're subtracting 25 from g. So the opposite is to add. So we add 25 to both sides. We get 138 equals g. That's the answer. Don't get stuck moving things from the left side to the right side. A lot of people think that's what they do when they first start learning this. You always move away from the variable. Oops. If I have j minus 87 equals negative 3, I'm subtracting 87, so we add 87 to both sides. Minus 87 plus 87 cancels out. That's 0, so I just have j. And negative 3 plus 87, they have opposite signs, so we subtract. We get 84. Now, if you have a situation like this, where I have a minus, anytime you have two signs, like a minus or a minus a plus, rewrite them first. That will help you solve this. Y plus 3 is equal to 6. So I'm adding 3, so I subtract 3 from both sides. I get y equals 3. On this one, I've got y plus a negative 3, which is the same thing as y minus 3. That's going to be equal to 7, so I'm subtracting 3 from both sides. So I'm subtracting 3 from y, so I add 3 to both sides. 7 plus 3 is 10, so the solution is y equals 10. If you have a number out here in front, no matter what it says right there, plus or minus, that is positive 27, so I need to subtract 27 to make it go away. 27 minus 27 is 0, that just leaves y. 30 minus 27 is 3. If I have 1 minus 12 equals p plus 16, I got to subtract 16 from both sides. Negative 12 minus 16 is negative 28. This problem right here we have to be very careful with. I have 3. That minus is not with the 3, it's with the x. I'm not subtracting 3 from x. It's actually adding 3 to negative x. So I have to get rid of this 3. What cancels 3 out is minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. That still leaves minus x over here. Over here, 4 minus 3 is 1. Notice that negative sign, that minus sign, did not go away. Since we do not have x by itself, we have to divide by minus 1 on both sides. What that does is changes the sign of both. Negative x over negative 1 is x. 1 over negative 1 is negative 1. If we're multiplying, the opposite of multiply is divide. We're multiplying by 3, so we divide both sides by 3. 3 over 3 is 1. Anything over itself is 1. I don't have to write 1x. I just write an x. And negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. If I have negative 12 times x equals 36, I'm multiplying by negative 12, so I have to divide by negative 12. Divide both sides by negative 12. Anything over itself is 1. It goes away. 36 over negative 12 is negative 3. If you are multiplying by a fraction, you flip it. Not the original fraction. You flip it to get its reciprocal, and you multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So if I have negative 1/4 equals 2/3 b, I got to get rid of this 2/3. Its reciprocal, I flip it, its reciprocal is 3/2. I multiply both sides by 3/2. On this side, I have 3 times negative 1, that's negative 3. I have 2 times 4, that's 8. Here, I have a 3 on top and a 3 on bottom. They cancel out. I have a 2 on bottom and a 2 on top. They cancel out. So right here, all of this cancels out. I just have b equals negative 3/8. If one side is a whole number or a mixed number, you have to make it an improper fraction first. So 6, to make a whole number an improper fraction, you put 1 underneath it. To make a mixed number an improper fraction, you would take the denominator, that's the bottom of the fraction, multiply it by the whole number part, that's the big number in front of it, and then add that to the numerator, that's the number on top. And you'd still keep the original denominator on bottom. Anyway, I'm multiplying by 3/5, so its reciprocal is 5/3. I multiply both sides by 5/3. The 5's cancel, the 3's cancel, I just have k. 5 times 6 is 30, 3 times 1 is 3. I have to simplify, we always have to reduce fractions. 3 goes into 30 10 times, so the answer is k equals 10. Here, I have x over 7. That means division. We're dividing by 7, so we have to multiply both sides by 7. When I multiply by 7, I'm actually multiplying by the fraction, the improper fraction, 7/1. So I'd have a 7 on top. It would cancel this 7 on bottom. Here, I have 5 times 7. I get 35. Your assignment is page 86, 12 through 60, even.